A golfer can make quite a variety of errors in their backswing leading up to the top of the swing, but if you're making a big error in transition, there's not enough time to come back from that. The club is already on its journey and it's moving too fast to consciously control. You simply can't walk it back at this point. So right after this, let me show you a couple of great feels and drills, no matter what your error is starting from the top of the swing, so that you can get better through impact, hit it longer, straighter, more consistently in the sweet spot. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve from HitItLonger.com. I'm on a mission this year to hit the ball longer and straighter than I ever have before, and I would love to show you how to do it too. Okay, so there's two common errors that I see with my students at the top of their swing. The more common one is the golfer who does not properly sequence their weight shift and the turn of their body, i.e. their pivot, out in front of the uncocking hands. So assisting me today is the Orange Whip. This is just a fantastic tool for a couple different reasons that we'll get into, but let's take a look at the caster, the person who doesn't have a lot of power, doesn't move their body very much. And the club would look like this, right? So you can see there's no bend in the shaft there. As I start down, you get this initial droop because of gravity right here. But once I start down, what you've got here is outwards throw. So I'm throwing the big orange ball to the outside of the circle, and that gives the stick, this whippity shaft, enough pull outwards to keep it very straight. Of course, you have an error in the bottom of your swing being too soon. You're going to have an error in striking the ball behind or thin a lot, and you're going to hit with very little power or compression. So for these golfers, I recommend doing the shaft bending drill. What you want to do is feel the handle of the club experiencing pull force from your body, shifting and turning out in front disproportionately of your outwards throw. And that will make this do is it's going to bend and hit me in the shoulder. So something like this, I'm going to go extra early with my pivot and my turn. That'll provide the pulling force to pull the handle around the circle, and the shaft will bend. Watch this. See it bending? And if I go early and strong enough, I can make it bend enough to actually hit me in the back. But what that does, the bending shaft, and there's a lot of other bendy stick tools out there that you could probably get a hold of. This one is available on my website. For a lot of reasons, I like this still the best out of any of the other ones on the market. But now my pulling force on the handle is now outracing my outwards throw to keep the shaft still. And so this is teaching you to properly sequence the body out in front of the throw. So now you can arrive with more of a pivoted, turned impact position, a forward leaning shaft at impact, and a low point that's in front of the ball for those clean strikes. You've really got to feel the shaft bending like that, kind of loading and snapping back again, and that'll give you a feel when you purposely cause this to bend. It's going to help you get going and cure those issues of casting and bottoming out too soon. Now, some better players out there, they have the reverse problem going on. They don't have enough width and outwards throw. They don't maintain the width as they start down. They allow the club to either float load or they pull it inside the original circle. And of course, That would make the handle experience more pull force than the outwards force they might be throwing, and so that'll get it to bend. But now it's just simply too much. So their sequence is okay, but they're not applying enough early outwards throw to overwhelm the force pulling the handle around the arc. So in that case, this is a great one for club players who are going into like a match play, club championship type of situation. We all know that in those situations, our swings tend to get shorter and quicker. Kind of short, too quick in the change of directions. This is a great tool to get you started down nice and smoothly. So for this one, we don't want any shaft bend at all. We're still going to pivot out in front, but now we're going to feel a pause and a very wide, slow starting down. So you're feeling this crescendo of power, something like this. And I'm not rushing the downswing. That's one thing I like about this tool. For those of you who rush the downswing, on that video, if we play it in slow-mo, editor guy, is you'll be able to see that aside from this initial droop from gravity, once I start swinging down, there is absolutely zero bend of the shaft there coming down. And this is because I am not giving the pull of the handle a shortcut by either float loading, losing my arc, or pulling on it, letting the arc of the body advance it. The turning of the body will advance the handle, and I am overwhelming that with outward seeking throw from the top of the swing, and that is outweighing the handle pull, so the shaft will stay straight. In other words, you've got more outward seeking force than you do inward seeking force. And that makes the shaft feel like it's actually pulling taut as I come down. And I feel the outwards force building as the acceleration continues into the ball. And I am feeling this ball getting heavier, heavier, heavier as it pulls to the outside of the circle. So you see the difference in the tempo there. I'm staying out nice and wide as I start down, maintaining that width. Super important for getting accurate distance. Both more speed from that wider hand path, nice shallow angle of attack, but creating the correct low point in the swing. So much good can come out of doing one of these two drills depending on which side of the equation you're on. So if you're a caster, get that body going out ahead. It feels like you're going to go before you even finish the swing. Go hard and make the shaft bend. If you're having issues with direction, keep that shaft straight. Swing it more than rhythm with outwards force, outnumbering inwards force pull. I'm going to leave a link to this tool. This is such a great tool. And it's been around for a long time, and there's a reason. I use this weekly, several times a week with my students because of all the benefits that they get out of it. I use it every day to keep my swing long and in tempo. A lot of pros have this in their bags on tour just to warm up with, get loose with because of the weight in the head. It kind of pulls you around. Check it out from the link down below and pick one up for yourself. All right, now I'm going to give the feel, I'm going to apply the feel of a no bending shaft or a pause and a wide start down, gradually building speed. I'm going to try to copy the feels that I had with the orange whip. And of course, I'm not going to get it right the first time. I'm just trying to feel the sensation of going out wide, pausing, and instead of allowing the handle to either pull down or fall inwards, I'm going to try to keep it out away from me. Keep the hand path very wide as I start down. Just the feeling here. Very good shot. Now I'll tell you what I felt there, interestingly, is greater compression. And this is, and the TrackMan is also telling me that I'm right. From that wider handle path, I still had forward lean at impact, but the angle of attack got just a bit shallower, which of course raises the amount of ball compression, makes the ball go farther, and that one really straight as well. So I love this feeling. It's a great thing for you to work on one way or another. Either bend the shaft feeling or keep the shaft straight, depending on where you're coming from. Hey, thanks for considering this idea for your game. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve. Head over to my website, hititlonger.com, for hundreds of more articles and videos that are going to help you get your golf swing better. As usual, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.